Just because they don't have Mario or Link doesn't mean these games aren't worth your time. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Nintendo Switch eShop games. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at all the fantastic digital gems the Switch has given us within its first year. We're only including games that didn't receive a physical copy outside of a limited special edition release as of time of this video's release. This sadly means that we had to exclude some phenomenal games, even if they weren't considered AAA titles. Number 10, Snake Pass. Many gamers have had their hands full with Breath of the Wild when this game launched in March. But those who did pick it up found a delightfully charming puzzle platformer. Players take control of the adorable serpent Noodle as he makes his way through a variety of different worlds. He does this not by jumping though, but by coiling around different objects to make it through each obstacle. The game was built with the Unreal Engine 4 and it plays incredibly well. It's also got a suitably lighthearted score that it's bursting with color. For a game with such a simple concept, it's nice to see how much effort the developers put into making it great. Number 9, Golf Story. The Switch has become home to some wonderful RPGs, but none are quite like this one. The story follows a down-on-his-luck golfer trying to reclaim his love for the sport. Golf Story plays like a traditional RPG, but replaces combat with, well, you guessed it right, golfing. While this may seem like an odd pairing, the game will surprise you with its addictive gameplay and large areas that are filled with minigames, side quests, and increasingly difficult courses. Much like other RPGs, players are encouraged to explore so that they can gain new skills and unlock different equipment. This blend of RPG elements with golfing gameplay makes it unlike anything else the system has to offer. Number 8, Thumper. This rhythm game may have appeared first on other consoles, but its addictive and quick gameplay perfectly pairs with the Switch's on-the-go design. You control a metallic beetle thing as it races towards an unknown destination, all while hitting notes on the track in time with the score, which is pretty killer, by the way. The game goes beyond your traditional rhythmic gameplay, though. The notes will help you fight off enemies, but you must also avoid obstacles and turn against curved walls, all of which are coming at you at lightning speed. This is a beautiful pairing of gameplay and music, and it makes for an insanely suspenseful ride. Number 7, Axiom Verge. If you've been missing some classic Metroidvania gameplay, you might want to pay attention here. The story of this side-scrolling action game revolves around Trace, a scientist who is knocked unconscious during a lab experiment and wakes up in a futuristic world filled with deadly machines and creatures. From there, you gotta shoot your way through each section using a wide variety of weapons and upgrades, while also using said weapons to find new areas. Yeah, stop me if this sounds familiar. Much like the Metroid games of old, you're encouraged to explore, as there are a lot of secrets hidden basically everywhere. With even more variety than the games it's paying homage to, Axiom Verge demands attention from Metroidvania fans. Number 6, Night in the Woods. For gamers who prefer a story over gameplay kind of experience, look no further than this revered indie adventure game. The story follows May, a college dropout who moves back to her hometown of Possum Springs, where everything is not quite as it seems. Citizens have been mysteriously disappearing and May must piece the plot together with her friends, all while her weakened mental state gets kinda worse. What has made the game such a hit are its characters and writing. The plot delicately handles mental health issues while also providing an entertaining and tantalizing mystery. It was also nominated for several awards, thanks in part to its cynically hilarious tone that actually pairs quite well with its adorable zoomorphic characters. Number 5, Stardew Valley. This farming simulator turned a lot of heads when it was released back in 2016 thanks to its improvements on the Harvest Moon-like gameplay. The story follows your customizable character as you take over management of your grandfather's rundown farm. From there, how the game plays out is entirely up to you. Now there are 5 different farm maps to choose from, each offering a different set of resources nearby. You can also get married to one of the townspeople, which you should, explore procedurally generated caves full of enemies, and accomplish various tasks to build your farm into the best it can be. With so much to do, it's no wonder that players have been getting lost in this lovely landscape for weeks, if not months. Number 4, Sonic Mania. Okay, so we're kind of bending the rules here, as a physical release was recently announced, but it's not out just yet, so screw it. We all know that Sonic has been in a bit of a rut for the last few decades. But given the right game design and creative team, the blue blur can still hold his own against the best 2D platformers, and such is the case with Sonic Mania, which offers everything players loved about the Hedgehog's games from the early 90s. This release has remixed versions of classic stages, some brand new ones, Easter eggs galore to find, and more Knuckles than you know what to do with. It's a true love letter to Sonic's heyday, one that gamers everywhere owe it to themselves to check out. Number 3, SteamWorld Dig 2. If you missed the 2013 original, don't worry. You definitely don't need to play it to understand its sequel, which improves upon basically every aspect. You play here as Dorothy, a robot in search of Rusty, the original game's protagonist. Like the first game, you explore underground mines by using your trusty pickaxe to create new paths. You can mine resources and uncover secrets, but this sequel features a higher focus on action platforming. It's been frequently praised for its gameplay and RPG elements that make your character's abilities really customizable. The term Metroidvania gets thrown around a lot these days, but this is by far the best representation of it, and probably a great improvement of it that the Switch has to offer. Number 2, Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. The original game in this platforming series was released during the resurgence of nostalgia-heavy games. While you can buy that for cheaper, Treasure Trove will probably offer you more bang for your buck, and it's worth it. You'll get the brilliant original as well as 2 expansions where you can play as 2 of the villains. This shift in characters and settings offers a variety of gameplay elements, as each have their own unique moveset and story to tell. You'll also get the 4th and final chapter of the saga once it releases. With improved classic gameplay, unlockable power-ups, and an awesome soundtrack, there's plenty to unearth here. Before we get to our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
There was a fire in Aspen and your house burned to the ground. The toy and doll licensing deal is dead and they're suing you for breach. And one more thing. I quit. What?
Number 1, Celeste. If you played Towerfall, then you already know that Matt Makes Games creates really great 16-bit experiences. Though similar in the art department, Celeste is a very different type of game. The story follows Madeline as she climbs her way up the titular mountain and offers incredibly challenging yet satisfying platforming gameplay. What sets it apart for other games in the genre is its story though, as the mountain serves as the physical representation of Madeline's depression. It's rare for an indie game to feature such a heartfelt and emotional story like this one. Add that with its tight gameplay, kooky characters, and a soundtrack you'll want to download immediately, and you've got a truly special experience. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.